Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It's Monday and we're reviewing Game of Ham. Actually, there's no we, unfortunately, and it's more of an unboxing than a review at this point because this is a 3 to 15 or more player multiplayer card game, and well, that's kind of hard to do solo. So we'll do an unboxing for you right now. As soon as possible, we'll get a group together again and play this out and give you an idea of how it plays as well. Game of Ham is a party card and board game that will have players squealing with laughter or turning away in shame. The adult version is meant for people who like their humor the way Scrooge likes his coffee, dark and bitter. It has a variety of game modes and optional rules. It's easy to learn with high replayability, high player interaction. Obviously, any kind of card game where you're sort of making things up as you go is going to have that. There's luck and strategy balance, many paths to victory, endless possibilities. Great room for expansions, but I mean, really, this box is so heavy because it is just full of cards. There are 810 cards in this box. Board pieces, player pieces, placeholders, rulebook, and a quick start guide. So enough talking. Let's get out the knife of knowledge and see what's in the box, okay? So yeah, again, this is still shrink wrapped. Getting off. So we pop open the box. This is the adult version, by the way, in case you were wondering. So there's the box lid inside the box. And there we have the quick start guide, which is literally one sheet. So this is something that, you know, we are always harping on game creators to make. You need the cheat sheet, the one sheet that you can leave out to remind you of what's going on, so you're not always referring to the rules. Considering it's a fairly simple game, that is a very robust rule book, but it's explaining all the different squares on the board and what they do and how things can be set up, ways to play different ways, showing how to do scoring, and very in-depth, very detailed rule book, which is what you're looking for when you have, and as I said, then there's the quick start guide to remind you and to get you going quickly. We know what we're doing, let's just go. So there are 4 double-sided board pieces, different ways that you can have them fit together. Many different layouts. So you have many options to set that up, which is always nice. So again, you're looking at replayability because the boards are double-sided and there are 4 of them. That means 8 sides, and each of the sides can be, configured. The 4 boards can be configured 4 ways each there, plus 2. So 8 ways for each board times 4 boards. You figure out the permutations. And then we have the pieces. So we have these big giant hams and all sorts of different player markers. So there are 16 player markers and 4 big hams. Cards. Lots and lots of cards. And inside just the box is the divider to help you keep your cards from spilling all over the place. So the quality of components looks really good. Nice thick cardboard on all the on the markers and the big hams. Cards themselves, well, I guess we're going to see in a moment here. They feel really good. Like they've got that slick coating on them, so they slide really well. Giving someone hallucinogenic drugs, binding them, and covering them in cockroaches. So you're probably getting a sort of a bit of a Cards Against Humanity vibe from this, and I think that is sort of what they're going for, but with a different twist. Then we have a different set. These are the gray cards with an A on the back. And I was saying, why don't you open the rule book and find out what all these mean? I'm opening the components first. Then I will find out from the rule book, maybe get an idea of what's going on here. These are, I believe these ones, the A from the thing here says judge creates a prompt. Judge determines number of cards in response, etc. I think this is sort of a randomizer for how the judge is going to be playing the game. How they're going to set up each round. If you want, obviously you wouldn't want the judge to be just dictating everything. You'd want it to be fair so everybody has a chance of winning. Well, you say that, but if 3 people have one sense of humor and the next person has a different sense of humor, I've never experienced that. The things you think funny aren't the things that everybody else is going to think is funny. So here we have some red ones and some orange ones with white backs on all of them. And these ones bounce target piece to the last white bounce spot they passed, assuming that's referring to the board. And the same thing in orange. So there's sort of a yellowish and green. I say yellowish because it's not really pure yellow, it's sort of big greeny yellow. So those are all the same, it seems. These are going to be more of the options, the different cards that you pick from to have your hand and try and pick the card that gives the best, the answer that makes the most sense to the clue that has been given. Being slow and steady, high-functioning alcoholic, learning Victoria's Secret, getting a date at the children's park. So obviously, as I said, this is the adult version. So it's going to be a little more risque, a little more darker humor. Here's another stack. An angry mob of villagers being fed up with this world. There's something for everybody's humor in here. And if you're wondering why I'm not reading more of them out, I think you can experience them for yourself. Go pick up the game. So that is everything that is in the box. Please note this guide will only cover the main way to play the game and not the many variants that make this game so unique. Please see the rule book for the full ham experience. Also note, this does not cover mandatory rules, so please check that out in the rule book. Functionally, you can just play with this quick start guide, but you're missing out. So it's more of a reminder than anything. It's still, you need to refer to the rule book. Each player is dealt 10 of the pink cards, which were your different answers, different things on them. The first judge gets picked. It's either smartest player in the room, the new person in the group, or the person who was his closest birthday. Whatever, your usual. Roll a die, flip a coin. Just the person who says, I want to do it. You know, how it always goes. The board pieces can be placed whichever way the group decides. However, this is the recommended way. And it shows you a diagram of how to lay the boards out. Obviously, you do that sort of thing for your first couple till you get an idea of how the game is played and how the board works into it. And the colored cards with white backs get placed on top of their corresponding ham-shaped holders. There, you're wondering what those are for. Those are for those 4 decks of cards, the 4 different colors. Judge reads out a gray card. And then every player besides the judge plays the pink card they feel is appropriate to the gray card. Usually humor-based, and then you draw back up to 10 cards. Judge picks a winner, and the winner moves, usually forward, either number at the bottom of the gray card they won. Aha! So that's why the cards had 2 numbers. You could choose. So it's just a little bit more control. If you're moving around the board and you want to hit a particular number, and you've got 4 and 9 on your thing, well, I could move 4 spaces or I could move 9 spaces, whichever one is more advantageous to you. Little bit of strategy in there to the winning the cards. The player picks up a colored card that corresponds to the colored ability spot they landed on, or moves forward the number of spaces stated on the numbered spot they landed on, but forfeits the colored card. And the colored cards are sort of game modifiers that allow you to sort of mess with other players or get a bonus for yourself. Next, the player who won the previous round becomes a judge. The game will end when a player reaches the golden goal spot and lands on it exactly. Surplus amount will make the player move past it or go back that amount. So you have to hit with the exact number. So again, when the cards are having 2 numbers on that, could be advantageous to you because one of them is going to let you win the game, one of them isn't. So that's what's in the game, and that's a quick overview of how to play. Again, it's hard to give any more details on this game when there's just me right now, but I will come back to you later with a review after you've had a chance to get some people. So that's Game of Ham. If you're interested, give it a look, and we'll see you next time. Review another game, because that's what we do. And I noticed something last time. Just take a look. Because the light set up, I have anime eyes. Completely has nothing to do with anything, but I just thought I'd point that out to you anyway.